Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the Thai tourism sector and whether or not it's able to compete with other venues here in Southeast Asia, primarily. Now, I've done a number of videos talking about different countries in the region with respect to their rules and regulations associated with entering the country, basically immigration rules and where things stood with respect to that. I've kind of had some correspondence back and forth. There's people who sort of say, hey, Thailand's not as difficult as other countries. I've had other people say, well, I mean, really, it's all kind of on par. I think all things being equal, pretty much every country right now, with rare exception, have substantial protocols associated with being able to come in. So, yeah, Thailand may be a little more difficult in one area, but it may be less difficult in another area. For example, I believe the Philippines, this is just off the top of my head, I believe the Philippines has a higher threshold associated with insurance coverage compared to Thailand, but at the same time, some of their entry procedures are not as cumbersome as Thailand. Meanwhile, Vietnam, we're hearing, has more difficult entry procedures. Again, it's really kind of a mixed bag here, but I was reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post, and it got me thinking, and I decided to go ahead and make this video. The article is titled, Entry to be Easier from May. Again, Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Quoting directly, and I urge those who are watching this video, go check out that article. I'm just quoting an excerpt here. Quoting directly, the spokesman admitted existing measures did not allow Thailand to compete with other countries that were reopening their tourism sectors. And the next meeting of the CCSA after Songkran would table a further loosening of restrictions. And I certainly hope that's the case. It would definitely be, and by spokesman, I believe this was a spokesman for the Ministry of Public Health and the CCSA. But that stated, yeah, I definitely think it would be a good thing to see further loosening of restrictions. But for now, yeah, I think there is something to be said for the notion that, hey, Thailand is not going to be as competitive in terms of drawing in tourists, and the big contingent of folks that I see we're missing out on are what I call long-staying tourists. And even, that's not even quite the right word. It's almost semi-retired. Folks that are in their upper 40s, even in their 50s, who may not want to spend the entire year in Thailand, but may spend 90 days, 120 days in country. And a lot of these restrictions are putting those folks off. And those folks really brought in and bring in a substantial amount of money. They come in and they spend for a prolonged period of time. They oftentimes stay in temporary accommodations, including hotels, as opposed to having a condo that they may rent long-term or even own. Again, these are kind of the sweet spot, if you will, of tourists, and I think a lot of these policies are putting folks off. Now, as noted in this article, it looks like they're going to be tabling further motions to loosen this up even further. As we've seen, there's already discussion of scrapping things like mandatory hotels and things of this nature. So hopefully, we will be seeing a substantial reduction in all of this in the coming weeks, and we'll certainly keep you updated on this channel as the situation progresses.